So you don't have to be super intense with money forever, but short sprints can totally change everything. This is step 20 of our 30 Steps to Wealth series, where we're talking about the importance of financial sprints and the impact that a focused 1 to 3 month period can really have on our financial goals and our overall financial health. So you hear me say this all the time, but like a key aspect of like true financial transformation is sustainability. That's why I'm always yapping about not cutting joy. Joy is essential because you're not going to be able to sustain that for the long term and you'll end up fad dieting your finances, right? Now, with that said, it can be so powerful to have a financial sprint where you are like locked in for 1 to 3 months on a very specific goal. This can be really helpful if you want to like, pay down debt quickly, like really ease cash flow, especially if you have a lot of pressure with that, or like build savings quickly. The key here is understanding that like there's a very clear intention and a very clear timeline. In fact, when I've done this with clients, we talk a lot about like, okay, if we're going to do this for the next 2 months, you're going to be really aggressive about paying off this credit card. I'm in, but let's understand that this is not by any means a lifestyle. This is a season and we are very intentional about that, right? Sprints work because they're temporary, they're very measurable, and they create really visible progress. And then after the sprint, after the 2 months of like working overtime and applying every extra dollar to that debt, then we go back to a more sustainable rhythm, but this time with more breathing room and with that confidence of like, heck yeah, I'm so proud of myself. I was able to pay this off. This approach is really helpful for debt payoff because it provides that like short term intensity, but for long term relief. Wealth isn't built by burning yourself out, it's built by choosing the right strategy at the right time. So, your action step here is look at your finances again and like see if a financial sprint of February and March, for example, makes a lot of sense, and then execute that way. Remember, if you want to go through this all together, join Rich Girl Reset. We start in January.